for the pre-final in KA100 Senior, and it's an all blue, white, and yellow BJR front row. Let's see if we get a good start on the first try from Buckley. We've got it. Green flag, and they're evenly matched through one. That should work out great for them. It'll work out great for Overbeck especially. He gets the lead into two. Luke back to third. Big wide run there for what looked to be Ruben Moya, the first one that really got shuffled out and into the weeds. And he's going to drop back a few spots as he quickly finds a hole down on the inside lane in the run to turn number 4. But Overbeck leads to Hernandez, then Luke, Ramos, Brandon Lemke, your initial top 5 here. All of the field have survived half a lap so far.
Good start for the field as they rumble their way through. Sharper line taken by Hernandez along through turn 11. Many of these drivers cutting through the grass. Hernandez cuts to the inside across the rumble strip. Takes away the lead from Overbeck. Now parks it on the apex for good measure. Trying to slow up the 901 machine. Able to check him up and build a small buffer to end the first lap already.
Down the front straightaway, Oliver Hodgson is trying to find a way past Brandon Lemke, but Lemke had covered that, so there was only 3/4 of a car width on the inside, and Hodgson did not want to go to the grass. Move to the inside there, Henry Wheeler. New colors for him this weekend with Mike Doty racing as there's a pass up front. Luke goes by his teammate in Overbeck, and that'll give Jose Carlos Hernandez a bit of a bigger lead now. Ramos still has everybody lined up behind him all the way back to Keegan Kaminsky's black and white GFC. Then Wheeler, Eli Warren, looks to be Moya still, Finn Bailiff there in 13th. No splitting of the pack really as of yet, Justin, but that's the dangerous part of the opening couple of laps in races like these. You never know when the bobble is going to happen, when a pass goes wrong or too much passing commences and the field gets split up. Here's one pass, Oliver Hodgson on Lemke. That'll stack everyone up behind him, and you can see Hodgson gets a bit of a gap, and the field has to quickly try to get back to single file to keep the leaders in sight.
And that just about was that move you're talking about, because now you have Massimino setting up the inside of it. A contact, in fact, as well. That opens up the gap to more than 5 kart lengths between that second and third grouping essentially on the racetrack. First grouping, side by side of the race lead. A dive yet again. Luke, again, keeps it simple, sends it to the point for BJR to the lead. Once again, the BJR karts seem very sporty here today. Oh, that was a little bit of contact. The 934, Kaminsky sent to the grass for a moment.
Yeah, he was trying to hang on tough on the outside. The whole train was there, and that's going to really send him down. Here's Hernandez, Ramos, side by side down into the sweeper, and they both will get moves done, and Oliver Hodgson is going to sneak his way up to 4th. The dominant winner from round number 1 of the championship. Didn't set the world on fire this morning in qualifying. He's hunted. That comp kart looks really fast here as they roll down the front straightaway.
All of them starting to get settled on in here. Hodgson so far, by the way, has picked up 3 positions. More sense, speaking of which, Massimino, who set the fastest lap of the race so far, also up 3. Polly doing Polly things, while the 935, Luke does his thing. To the race lead, signals to work together. The response by Hernandez, trying to get a diamond line down to try and pass instead. So far, these drivers have made it clear they don't want to sit still and just work together. They want to scrap. They want to be in control of this field and lead and make 3 wide passes.
Paulie Massimino all the way by the grass. He's going to get some help. Here comes the champ, James Overbeck following. Dono looking for anything here. I don't think he's going to get any spots out of that whole deal. Ruben Moya behind is still trying to hang on strong ahead of Henry Wheeler and company. And I think there may have been some more action even further down the grid. But the front of the pack is gnarly, as there it is. It looked like one of the rocket racing machines got shuffled out. And we'll try to ID who that was that we lost as they fall down the order. And, well, I believe it was Mauricio Hernandez.
Yes, indeed it was. Was just about to bring that up there. So some shuffling and squabbling. Seeing more drivers get kicked off there, but all of this as well up at the front of the field. The pack has separated out as predicted. The top 7 are now up by more than 8/10 of the rest of the field. The question is, how will they play with each other for the next half of the race in the midst of this fight up at the point, as these drivers in the second pack get really argy-bargy, a bit of a push this time, checking things up once again. The 903 Wheeler out of lift, all while Moya and several others get the elbows out.
Big moment there for Eli Warren as he barely was able to get down into line. And now we check back in at the front. Watch the field cycle back across the line. Changed in the middle of that 5-pack. Overbeck back around the top qualifier in Luke.
Massimino is still on the hard charge. Yet again, he has showcased all season long. He can be a threat in any race you put him in terms of his speed, in terms of his raw pace, in terms of his racecraft, to be able to cut his way forward. Right now, up 5 positions so far in this race, looking for the right opportunity to go, to be able to try and take away second place. Massimino getting blocked off. That's because Ramos wants the lead himself. Diego Ramos retakes the point. Massimino falls through for second.
Oh, a little more contact there. That was Luque trying on Hernandez. It's going to allow Overbeck by, and they're going to line up along his inside. Bonilla and Hodgson go. Overbeck, a fade, nothing there. The hometown kid lives just 30 minutes down the road from the MCC Kartplex. It was the site of his first national win a year ago, but at this race, it was a heartbreaker for him. So close at the end of it. And then, of course, he came away with a title and a win at the season finale. But now, the champ is getting no love. He goes right back to the 8th spot, or 7th spot. Luque back to 6th, Bonilla to 5th. Here comes Brandon Lemke, and the Speed Concepts racing crew are gearing up at the fence line, I'm sure, hoping that the 981 can make some moves here in the closing stages. Ruben Moya still back there in the 9th spot. Cooper O'Clair 10th, although he's been in a good fight with Finnegan Bailiff the last few laps. But at the front, Paulie and Diego, these two have been racing each other. It feels like around each other weekend by weekend, week by week almost for the last couple of years, and they are working together nicely. 3 to go, and the gap 7/10 from Ramos back to Jose Carlos Hernandez.
Massimino being very smart in this right now, trying to wait in the wings, trying as well push himself ahead along with Ramos to make it a 2-kart fight with how things have gone all race long. Be able to finally get some breathing room up for the race lead here. So Massimino wouldn't be surprised if he waits until the final lap and a half before he truly pounces, unless he sees a blind chance here with what's going on right now. Massimino doing a great job of pushing Ramos out, sees the chance to go, takes the chance for the race lead, slips on by to take the point.
And again, not only does he make that a very easy move for Diego to get back in line and maybe push him, but he's also kind of bought himself probably a bit of respect from Diego by pushing him around for a lap or two. Diego, the good and the bad of that, if he felt Paulie breathing down his neck, he knows how fast, or maybe that Paulie's even faster than he is, but he's also showing that same respect, whereas I don't know if you're seeing the same bit of that right now in the next group. Side-by-side action in turn 2. Hodgson fending off Hernandez. Luque going to the weeds. Big send from Jose, and he'll get third away. Here comes his fellow countryman in Donovan Bonilla, a former Supernats winner, right on the heels of Hodgson, a former Miami International final winner. This is arguably, I'd say, here, Justin, the most stacked KA senior field outside of the Supernats that we've seen in probably about 2 seasons. Last year, the Pro X30 drivers were forced to choose, and most of them, of course, went to the headline class. But now they are allowed once again to double up, and it is nearly the entire top 10 of talent there. Hernandez and Hodgson solely in KA senior. Lemke, a longtime and former Pro X30 champion in the U.S. Pro Kart Series, but solely in 100cc. But it's, I think, a 7-3 on the count here inside the top 10. And that double lap, or twice the amount of laps, might be paying off a bit for them, keeping up with the track conditions and keeping fresh in the rhythm themselves. This pack is going to go down to the wire here. Final lap, and there's about 7 or 8 of them all stacked up.
All sorts squabbling as they try and sort themselves together. No point on trying to close up the leader. It's gone at this point. Inside line, once again, some more dives. One of Lemke trying to make up some ground throughout the heart of the field, all while Hernandez holds off the Hornet's Nest for now as he goes defensive.
Oliver Hodgson has no choice with how close Bonilla is. He has to cover low. Moya covering low, bought Overbeck a little bit of space, and now Lemke's going to try and shove it in the left-hander. Moya will stay tough on the right-hand side. He should be okay. Out front, though, Paulie is going to hang on by a nose. Ramos second here in the pre-final.